What's good, family? It's your boy Mal, back at it again with another video. So I have my
mother.
Today we're gonna react to shower thoughts that really confused me, man. This is basically like part 2, but it's really not like a part 2. If y'all get what I'm saying, y'all already seen the first one. But before the video starts, please follow me and Shawty both on Instagram. She will be back very, very soon. You see, we slowly getting back into making videos with each other, and y'all really like it. Like I told y'all, we still gonna be doing reactions with my mom. That's probably not gonna stop at all because y'all like that. So y'all like my mom's reaction, y'all like Shawty reaction, y'all like my reaction. So why not put it all together and make it even better than what it was and what it is now? So yeah, we could do that. And it's a fly in my room as always, man. I probably killed about 3 flies so far before I even start recording. But other than that, man, if we get straight into the video, follow me and Shawty both on Instagram.
Wow, another shower thoughts video. Who would have guessed? Not like the last 2 got a million views or anything. Look, I'm just trying to make people smile, or something. You know, people say that a child's laughter can light up your home. Unless it's 3 AM and you don't have a kid. But you can't escape reality sometimes, even in your dreams. For some reason, while we're asleep, our brain makes up stories only to get scared of them and then wake us up.
Facts.
Which seems really counterintuitive. In nightmares, how does your body replicate the feeling of falling from a building when you've never actually fallen like that before?
You jump.
I talk about dreams a lot and how much weird stuff happens in them. But have you ever really considered the thought that you've probably done some really weird stuff in somebody else's dream at some point? They probably don't remember.
I never thought somebody probably had a dream about me. Yeah. And I probably doing something like you said, weird. Like, bro, our minds is really messed up.
Yeah. I mean, it made me think, like, people be like, oh, I had a dream about you, but I can't remember what it was. Like,
you probably doing something very weird.
Right.
Remember it, though. I mean, I really don't remember any of my dreams. How many dreams can you actually remember right now?
1.
You've lost thousands of days of your memory, and that information will most likely never return to your mind. So, is what you actually remember about your life the true story? It all boils down to information, data, numbers. Speaking of numbers, 11% is both 1% and 10% more than 10%. The 60s were now 60 years ago. We're also as close to the 70s in the past as we are to the 70s in the future. Why does saying I'll be there in 18 minutes sound super specific, but saying I'll be there in 15 minutes sounds super generic? Your parents are more closely related to monkeys than you are. Something cooler though is that every single one of us has ancestors who were alive at the same time as every other human that has ever existed. We've fallen off a bit though. You know, us being attracted to people that wear glasses is kind of backwards when you consider natural selection. But you know, it doesn't really matter. Humans aren't immortal. The heart is basically a timer counting downwards until your death. Someone, somewhere, is listening to the last song they'll ever hear. Or watching the...
You know what's crazy? You're born, but your heart, like you said, your heart is counting backwards.
Right. Right. It's crazy. That is so crazy, man.
The last movie they'll ever watch, or getting the last haircut they'll ever receive. And there's really no way of knowing. There's a chance that the last picture of yourself you took could also end up being the one that is used for your obituary. Your life could end at any moment.
That's scary.
This dude kind of like creeps me out when
it's not super often that you publicly hear about hitmen, so this either means that there aren't many of them, or that they're really, really good at their jobs. You know, how famous do you have to be to actually be assassinated as opposed to just being murdered? Like, am I not important enough? But if you are murdered, don't worry. Someone thought you were important enough to not exist anymore. So you really did mean something to someone. You lived a great life.
Bro, that's
or
creepy.
You didn't. Some people are optimists, others are pessimists. You know, they usually ask, are you a glass half empty or a glass half full person? Well, the easiest way to answer it is this. Did you pour water in or out of it? Or maybe it wasn't even filled with water to begin with. If things are going bad, a drink always helps. When you're drinking any alcoholic drink, both you and the drink get drunk. No matter how many failures you have in life, you're still on track to become the world's oldest person. And once you claim that title, you keep it for life. If you want to stay in the running to become the world's oldest person, you need to be healthy. But isn't being healthy technically just the slowest possible way of dying? You know, you spend your entire life collecting people for your funeral. You have no idea if you've lived 20% of your life or 90% of your life. It's weird to think about if you're closer to your birth or your death right now. Life isn't really a journey,
That's
it's
crazy.
more of a mission. Birthday cakes explain life pretty well. You start off not knowing what a birthday cake is,
Facts.
and then you figure it out. So you start getting excited for the days where you get birthday cakes. But then eventually you realize you can go out and buy your own birthday cake whenever you want. But then you realize you should probably stop eating so much cake because it's pretty unhealthy for you. Until one
Right.
day you forget when your own birthday is, and cake is the last thing on your mind. You know, birthdays seem pretty simple, but they can get kind of confusing. Your first birthday is technically your second birthday.
Exactly.
And since a baby's age is only counted after being born, is a fetus that is still inside the womb.
So would that mean
I
like
said,
we
like,
actually
when
a
you first-
year older than what we are?
Yeah, when you actually come into the world, that is your very first birthday.
So we actually, if you want to be technical, we actually a year older than
Yeah.
what we are. It's creepy.
For your negative age. Anyway, you know 3D printers, you have to model what you want on a computer screen, make sure everything looks good, and then eventually you go and print it out. Well, when someone's pregnant, you go from being viewed on an ultrasound monitor to being printed in the operating room. Pretty much humans are literally 3D printers. Humans aren't much different from the technology that we use. I mean, we made it. Your bed is just a wireless charger that takes anywhere from 5 to 10 hours to fully recharge a specific model of human. A lot of people have the same alarm set that you do, so there's tons of people that have the same exact reaction as you do every single morning at the same time. Your alarm is technically your life's theme song, because it starts every new episode every day. But, not gonna lie, how often do you actually wake up fully recharged? Phones and computers work perfectly fine when they're on like 30% battery. It would be
Right.
really nice if humans worked the same way.
Yeah?
But we don't. We're different. Humans are the only species that decided that water was too boring of a beverage to keep us alive. We use food to survive, just like so many other animals. By the way, when you bite down on something, you're actually biting up. Have you ever thought about the fact that your belly button is technically your old mouth? Maybe you have.
Right. It
Oh,
was
man,
the
it's
umbilical
so-
cord.
Yeah. the rest of your
Yo,
life
what
without
the
eating.
world?
Or you could just eat something you're extremely
And y'all can say what y'all want to about how y'all didn't notice. A lot of y'all don't be knowing, bro. Y'all just be trolls, and it
Right.
don't bother me. But a lot of y'all don't be knowing this stuff either. So I'm like, oh, I knew that. Oh, I been knew all that.
I mean, you think about it, but you don't really think that nobody ever thinks what you think. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? On that end, like, I knew that, we feed, when you and your parents or whatever, your mother or whatever, that's how you eat. Yeah, that's true. But, I
So,
mean, you know what I'm
why your
saying?
mouth don't open though while you in her stomach?
That's a good question. Like, nobody knows. I mean, it's just the umbilical
Your
cord.
mouth
is
don't
just-
open or nothing. Like you
Like,
can't you
why
can't
they
remember it.
Why they can't have the umbilical cord like a straw where you just grab it? Because
Yeah.
baby, you find babies inside the womb sucking on their thumbs and their fingers and stuff like that. So why couldn't a baby suck on an umbilical cord?
I still understand how you not die from that.
Mhm.
You in water.
allergic to.
Yeah.
A lethal dose, if you will. A lethal dose of something is also technically a lifetime supply if you think about it. Like, if you're allergic to peanut butter, just eat a bunch of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But wait, the definition of sandwich is just an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with some filling in between. So, by definition, loaves of bread that you buy are really just massive bread sandwiches. We literally have to do it, but somehow we've turned liking to eat into a personality trait, just like everything else. The most obvious example is hair. Hair is annoying, though. You've probably never thought about the fact that we can't hear our hair growing. We can hear music, though. Sheet music is just a sound recipe. Music remixes are kind of like sound photoshops, if that makes sense. Just like turning up the volume on something is kind of like zooming in, but with sound. Our
Fact.
senses have turned out to be pretty useful. You can shut your eyes, close your mouth, cover your ears, pinch your nose, but you can't block out your sense of touch. Your senses are meant to protect you, and your sense of touch helps prevent you from doing things that cause harm to your body,
That's great.
like cutting off your limbs. No one will ever be able to chop off both of their hands with a knife. Please don't try it. Here,
Okay.
try this instead. Okay, how would you pronounce this?
0.6.
I probably said 0.6, but in reality, it's 0.60, but no one ever says that. We take the easy way out a lot. We put in the least amount of effort needed into things, especially talking, texting in specific. If your is commonly written as your, then shouldn't your be written as your? Has communication gotten better or worse? We're more connected than ever, but for some reason we put the least amount of effort into communicating with each other.
Sure do.
You know, we can communicate with our future selves in many ways. Notes, videos, and so on.
Yeah.
Except we can't actually see ourselves. However, we can see our past selves, except we can't communicate with them in any way. It's kind of frustrating. Speaking of the past, remember Flappy Bird? That was 7 years ago. God, I'm old. Anyway, since we're talking about the past, you're still from a game of...
I feel like it was like 4 years ago. 7?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a game every day.
I know.
You get frustrated.
Tag like 10 years ago. But let's go back even further than that, like really far. Since a meteor killed off a dominant species on Earth millions of years ago, aren't we technically living in a post-apocalyptic world right now? The same thing could actually happen again. NASA is tracking tens of thousands of near-Earth asteroids that could cause harm to the entire planet. But you're more likely to die from your cat than an asteroid, but I'm sure you'll still think they're super cute. If cats go meow and dogs go woof and ducks go quack, what's the generalized sound that humans make? Dogs are able to legally pee in more places than we are, which is funny. But here's the most depressing thing in the entire video. Most dogs have siblings they'll never see again.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot that we humans don't see though. There are probably areas of Google Earth that no one has ever really zoomed into. Also, if you look at yourself in a mirror from 5 feet away, aren't you technically seeing yourself from 10 feet away? Since light takes time to travel, you're also technically looking at yourself slightly in the past. Being able to see the future would be great.
This is crazy. Like, y'all just sit here and think about it, bro. It's really
butterflies, or did they just put themselves in a cocoon while having zero clue what they're doing? Most of us really don't even know what we're doing. We're just out here trying to survive.
Facts.
Your survival in today's world depends on whether or not you can convince people to give you money. Saying, I sold an hour of my life for $15 sounds a lot worse than I make $15 an hour. But that's the reality of the situation. Everything in life just depends on how you look at it. Like, yeah, smoking can be pretty bad. But if cigarette companies cured cancer, cigarette sales would probably increase, which makes everyone happy in the end. You could view stealing as bad, but torrenting things is the most socially acceptable form of stealing, and people do that all the time. Anyway, here's something that blew my mind. You know when people have an audition for something?
What is it called? Fire stick. You basically stealing movies.
Something and their friends tell them to break a leg. I just realized they say that because they hope you end up in the cast. It all makes sense now. It's crazy how things can be interpreted differently just based off of how you say it. Saying, have a nice day to someone sounds super friendly and is pretty normal. But saying, enjoy your next 24 hours sounds threatening and will probably have them on edge for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
Just a few words can cause a person to go from being completely calm to driving you insane. Like this. The entropy of the universe is always increasing. This means that things tend to go from being ordered to being disordered. Once you clean your room, it's basically guaranteed that it's going to eventually end up dirty again. So, even though there's chaos on Earth, like almost having another world war, or the Amazon burning down that everyone just forgot about, or the fact that there was an entire continent on fire, the fact that there's a new plague, again, it actually all makes sense. Because nothing was supposed to stay orderly to begin with. Alright, maybe I'm thinking too much at this point. And I forgot to bring a towel.
Crazy.
Man, I honestly don't know. I mean, like, everything he's saying is true. Like,
he wrecks my brain because he make me think. He makes me overthink, underthink, think.
Man, y'all let us know how y'all feel about these certain situations that, you know, that he said about in these videos, bro. Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, bro. Life is actually scary.
It is. Like, when he put it like that.
Yeah, life is actually scary.
You know, when I just was, before I started watching him, I was fine. I was cool. Now he got me thinking, like
it's crazy how different wording can make you feel in a type of way. Like,
yeah,
enjoy your next 24 hours. Like, bro, what you saying? I might die or something?
Right.
Or like, enjoy the rest. That's crazy. Like, it depends on how you word stuff and do stuff.
See you tomorrow.
And go about stuff.
Oh, man.
Bro, that's crazy. Oh, my God. Our brains is really just, it's messed up.
Mine finna be going right now.
Man, but other than that, man, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me and Shawty both on Instagram. Go check out me and Shawty last video that we did about 2 days ago. Other than that, man, we out of here.